Hi, I'm Case Spivey, and today I want to share and also hear some opinions about extended universes. Specifically, I've gotten back into Mortal Instruments. I was having a little bit of a crisis and was sick a while back, and you know what I needed? Mortal Instruments. I needed a little more Alec and Magnus love in my life. Then I was reminded that the TV show is crap, and you can quote me. And I think anyone who was originally a fan of the books will be with me on that the show is like someone heard the concept of the books, cast the characters so well. Like really, some of the casting I was like, I don't like some of the people who are cast in some of the roles, but for the most part, I was like down with the casting when it was being announced. So excited. This tangent is going in a different direction. But anyway, so I couldn't satiate my need for this universe with the television show. And the movie, it has some things better and it has some things worse. So couldn't do that. What I needed was to reread the entire series. So got back into rereading the Mortal Instruments series, which I've just been like devouring like cereal. But the great thing about the Mortal Instruments series is there's way more material than when I was reading it the last time. Cassandra Clare has just like taken the concept of this one little world and it just gone a million directions. Like I started with the Infernal Devices. The Infernal Devices was the whole gateway for me. It was so good. I loved the whole series. I read it so quickly. I've got the nice beautiful hardbacks of this one, whereas the Mortal Instruments is scattered across many devices, which turned out to be a challenge when trying to reread it. I have the hardbacks of this because I loved this series so deeply. And back in the day, I had the Codex and I had the Bane Chronicles. And at the time, that was all that was out. And then Lady Midnight came out. I read that. And the ending didn't sit well with me. I had a problem with some things. I'm gonna reread that. I'm gonna reread that arc and see what I think now. By the time I was like, and I was kind of over it. Well, there is so much more out there now. Now, there's an entire book that's just Magnus and Alec. But I feel like I need to read up to it. And I also need to read the Shadowhunter Academy. Those books are in the other room. I own them now because this is how big, this is when I go into a craze, I go there. But this tangent has all been leading to one thing, and that's that Cassandra Clare has done with this universe what we had all hoped would happen with Harry Potter. She has the main arc of the main characters from the Mortal Instruments series and all of their little extra side plot lines going on. But she also has like generations back, like she has tied in these like super inbred shadow hunters to all kinds of corners. Like she has just woven this net and we're getting stories for all of them and they just keep coming. She just keeps turning them out and we get more and more of this universe. And like that's what we wanted from Harry Potter. We wanted to hear about the parents. We wanted to hear about these random side characters. We wanted the original house, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Hufflepuffs. We wanted their original story. Cassandra Clare is there. She has given us that for her universe. And I just appreciate it so much. So much new material keeps coming out. That's what we wanted from J.K. Rowling. That's really what we all wanted Fantastic Beasts to be. And it's kind of cringing in a weird direction and it's not that good. I'm saying a lot of controversial things. I'm just letting you know now I did not bring any receipts because I'm not making any returns. These are all my opinions. I hated Crimes of Grindelwald. I loved Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I thought we were at a really good opening premise. Crimes of Grindelwald tried to do too much and threw away its main characters, and I could go into a rant on exactly how I feel, but that was a poorly written movie. I know a lot of the blame goes to J.K. Rowling for it, but it can't all be her fault because clearly she knows how to use an editor because her books were edited. So if people are just like, oh, she wrote it so it's fine, and someone's trying to just print out her rough draft, which is, the dialogue was, it was such a bad conglomerate of things happening that I didn't care about. If someone tried to publish her rough draft of this, what the fuck? Harry Potter really doesn't have that same like blooming universe where it's all over the place. And it's really cool to get that from a creator like we are with Mortal Instruments series. Harry Potter took a different path where it kind of stuck with the same thing. We got like Harry Potter World where you get the familiar things of Harry Potter, but it was all like, oh, you get to be this, rather than here's all the other characters that you really, really cared about and what they were doing, and now you get all of that. Both things have their benefits. I think Harry Potter has ended up with a little bit more of a rabid fan base, but I don't think this is anything new. King Arthur is the same kind of thing. I mean, the Bible has all kinds of just like expanded universe things going on, but King Arthur's a really famous one where there are so many stories by so many writers because it just, I mean, there's a whole museum in Wales that's just like the King Arthur Museum of all the books. Sherlock Holmes is another one that's just kind of like been built off, but they've been done in different ways. Sherlock Holmes is more like retellings. King Arthur is like, now this is what Lancelot was doing, and now he's gonna end up with Guinevere, and oh wait, on this one, that's not what happens. The canon sort of spreads, and this is one of the things that's been happening with like the MCU. So in Marvel, the movies have kind of taken some branches. They don't all fit together, which I think has been very frustrating as moviegoers. I'm so over Marvel, and yet every now and then they put out something I really love. Like, I did love Captain Marvel. That was great. But I'm over the big group ones. I haven't seen the latest one. I don't care anymore is kind of the problem. I think maybe you're with me, maybe you've already clicked off this video because I've already said some things you didn't agree with. Fair, totally fair. But one of the things that comics do really well is when there's a different art style, you can have a whole different universe, kind of like with King Arthur, where you can take Batman and have him a million different ways. You can have any Batman you want and get backstory and get front story. Like, you can have so many things in comics, and it's a medium that lends to it very, very well. You can tell immediately that this is a different artist, we're going in a different direction, the color scheme is different, and it's something that movies, for some reason, it doesn't feel as easy and authentic as with comics, perhaps because it's a bigger production, there's more hands in the pot, there's more limitations. And with books, kind of the same thing. It all kind of feels like it should be all one canon universe. I think comics does it so well with expanded universe and with different branches. It's like fan fiction. It is fan fiction. But I think the interesting thing with the Mortal Instruments is it's not fan fiction when it's all the author, when the author is giving us everything, everything, everything. When it's not just fans retelling parts, which, like King Arthur, is essentially a whole bunch of fan fiction. New Sherlock Holmes, different AUs of fan fiction. I mean, that's what Elementary is. That's even what the Benedict Cumberbatch Sherlock is, or the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. They're all just fan fictions, essentially, in movie form. But somehow with comics, it's almost like it's a new dimension of the same thing. But what's really interesting about the author doing it themselves is there's a sort of interesting authenticity. And I think what's really interesting is somewhere back early in like the first season of Shadowhunters, and I have seen you, I know that Shadowhunters is only running because they keep having Alec and Magnus kiss. I know it. Because there's a lot of kissing scenes, but really bad dialogue. Oh man, I won't go off. I won't go off in case you love the Shadowhunters TV show. I'm just saying, I don't. I watched the first season and basically threw a rage through every episode about like how totally didn't make any freaking sense. And it wasn't well done. I had such a rage. Okay. Reining it back in. Reining it back. Cassandra Clare has had problems with fans, and I know she's been controversial in the past as well. I'm aware of that whole situation. Oh man, my battery is dying. It hit me in a different way, and so I really appreciate that we're getting more and more and more of different stories from Cassandra Clare. But I want to know what you think down below about extended universes, and kind of what are your pros and cons? Like, what's the problem? Like, what does it well and what doesn't do it well? What's the problems? What's the good things? What do you love about it? What do you not love so much, and where you wish that the author would just stop, or where you wish they would write more but not maybe what they're doing, or maybe more of what they're doing? Let me know in the comments down below. My battery is about to die, so I will talk to you again soon. Good luck to all of us. Bye!